So, in the last session, we concluded by a very interesting concept which we covered it, which was the law of spiritual evolution. I'll just briefly do it since we have already done it and then move on. So, basically, if we have to map our progress, it has to be dependent on our dependency on the world. So, growth of a human being is inversely proportional to the dependence on the world, mental dependence on the world. So, more we grow, we become a better person, better human being, lesser we are dependent on world for our happiness, for our peace, for our contentment. In other words, in spite of situations, circumstances, people, everything going against and not according to what we want it to be, in spite of that, we can be happy and peaceful in life. That's what is meant by a human growth. So a human being, it is a dog who is completely affected by anything happening in the world. An animal is completely dependent on the world. A plant is completely dependent on the world. But a human is designed in a way that we need not be dependent on the world for our happiness, for our internal peace. And that's what the graph is talking about. Now, today's session, we'll be starting with a very interesting analysis we have been discussing about. Vedanta promises you to give you dynamism in life and peace of life, how to combine it. So what happens is, one set of people, the Western world, we see that there is a lot of productivity, lot of prosperity, lot of engagement, dynamism in the society. However, we see there is no peace of mind. In their own admission, they have lost their peace, the serenity, their equanimity in their day-to-day life. And when we come to the eastern part of the world, we see that people are relatively peaceful and happy. The villages you go, they are cheerful, they're happy, they are not too bothered by the world, or whatever is happening around. They are relatively okay. But there is no prosperity, there is no dynamism, there is no action. People don't want to work. People don't want to act. Even the basic facilities are not there. So the question comes, is it even possible to have dynamism, a peak of productivity, and combine it with a peace of mind, equanimity within our personality? Vedanta says, yes, it is possible. We don't have to go for a weekend or a vacation to be happy, to be peaceful. We don't have to run away from our engagement, our obligations, our work to be peaceful and happy. You can be wherever you are and be happier. How is it possible? And that's the topic for the day. Vedanta procures happiness. Vedanta, the knowledge of Vedanta gives you, the first part is, it gives you happiness. So if you go back to the topic, here we completed last time, and we are starting with the topic, Vedanta procures happiness. So every human being tries to find peace and happiness in the world, yet none has succeeded in gaining it. Happiness is not something that you draw from the external world. So this is what Vedanta is trying to teach us or tell us, that it is not in the world. You may say, Vedanta is giving us happiness. What do you mean by that? Vedanta is only teaching us that the happiness what we believe is in the world, we need to examine it. Is it true? So, the world can provide comfort, but it cannot provide you happiness. Objects are neutral. It's your mind's reaction to them that creates joy or sorrow. If your mind is agitated, even the paradise feels a prison. Vedanta turns the mind to be peaceful regardless of external circumstances. There's a very beautiful quotation by author Sopana. He says, it is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. So, Vedanta is saying that happiness is not something which is external and you have to collect it, get it from outside. Now, you may say, how do you say that? How do you prove that? How can you say that? Then comes this concept of where is the happiness? We think that object and being is going to give me happiness from the world. And that's what Vedanta is saying is the biggest illusion we are living in. Example, imagine a cigarette example is given in the text where he explains that cigarette being the same gives joy to one, agony to another. One person detests smoke. Another person is looking forward for places where he can smoke. So, if the happiness was part of the cigarette, if cigarette was that which was giving happiness, then everybody should be getting the same experience, which is not so. One person is enjoying that, one person is against it. So we say that it is not in the cigarette, it is not in that object. Object is neutral, but how we contact it, how we meet it, that makes all the difference. Another example he gives is of a person. We said object and being. We believe that object and being in the world gives us happiness. We are analyzing. Vedanta says no, not so. Find out, analyze for yourself. It gives example for object as a cigarette. Same object, each one reacts differently. When it comes to the being, one person wants to divorce a lady and another person is waiting desperately to marry the same lady. So, if happiness was in that person, in that lady, then whoever contacts that person will have the same experience. But it's not so. Our experience vary based on our mindset. The person is the same. One sees a soulmate, the other sees a source of misery. If happiness was in her, both would feel the same being, feel the same. The being is neutral. It's your mind's relationship to them that creates the feeling. So, we are concluding by these two examples to say happiness, joy, contentment is not in the external circumstances, external object or being. It is something internal. How we relate to something external, which is neutral. Per se, it is not having joy or sorrow in it, inherent in it. It is our relationship with it which makes it joyful or sorrowful, which is a state of the mind. So, what they're saying is, the happiness is within you. The world is neutral. Objects and beings have no inherent power to give you joy or sorrow. Happiness is your own internal state, projected onto the world. Stop chasing it outside, turn inward and discover the limitless source of bliss that you already are. The kingdom of happiness is within you. Tune your mind to find your peace. Now, one of the important note in the context is we need to understand these are the areas which gets misinterpreted in the society in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality. When they say within, what are they saying? It doesn't mean, see, even ChatGPT, if you see, or Gemini, it has created an animation with a heart, with a soul, with a light spark coming out of it. It is just to depict an idea, a concept. It's not to be taken literally. In other words, when they say search within, we need to understand it is not to be taken literally. Where do you go inside? What do you mean by go within? What they're saying is they are only giving us a direction of finding that joy, happiness, contentment in the world. Right now, what we do is we go to the world with the belief that is going to give me that what I want, and we fail miserably. We get it sometimes for some time, for some moment we have a joy, a piece of joy, and we lose it again. We get some other object of being. People get into addiction, people get into different drugs, people get different problems, different ways people get into the world looking for that happiness, the joy, contentment. So we keep on trying different ways, believing that maybe my methodology of doing it is wrong. Somebody will be drinking one glass, they turn it to one bottle, they make it two bottles. They believe that, okay, it's just a matter of time, I'll get it back, I'll get the happiness in it. It is not so. That which you are seeking is not the temporary relief which you are getting externally. That is not what you want. What you are seeking is a permanent state of happiness, and which sustainable joy, happiness is internal. Now, when we say internal, what does it mean? It simply means go beyond the layers of your personality. At the level of the physical body, we contact the world at 5 perceptions: eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. From the eye, we want to have good sight and we want to enjoy the sight. From the ear, we want to listen to good music, we want to enjoy. Taste, touch, all these 5 sense organs, we want to contact the world, we want to enjoy the world. Nothing wrong with it. We can contact the world as it is, but the belief is what we need to reanalyze, reassess. Contact the world, but if you believe that contact is giving me that joy and happiness, that is where they're saying, no, 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 that's not so. It is not the contact which is giving you happiness, it is your real nature which you are temporarily seeing it there. So go beyond your personality, go layer by layer. Physical level is the body, perceptions. In fact, right now you'll appreciate we're in the 3rd session, we're in the 1st chapter, we have 20 more chapters to cover, and it goes step by step in going detail about the analysis. Why I'm elaborating this concept is, don't make it some weird concept of reality or happiness as something within. I have to start doing meditation, I have to start looking in, or put a mirror in front. So it's not talking about all these ridiculous things. It's, a lot of people say you close your eyes, you see some light coming, and that is the happiness they're saying. Since it is not known, this area of enjoyment, happiness within, so people can say anything about it. What Vedanta is saying is, go layer by layer within your personality and find it out for yourself. Don't trust anyone else. Don't go by authority. Don't go by text. Go by your experience. What do you mean by that? I'll give a simple example to prove the point. You have a chocolate. You want to enjoy the chocolate, right? The best of the chocolate, you found it. It's your taste, and you consume it, and you're having it. You enjoy it. Second option is, somebody gives you a chocolate, and you know that your son loves the taste, loves the chocolate. So you go home, quietly give it to the child, and you see him relishing, enjoying the experience of the chocolate. Physically, you're not having the chocolate. You are only seeing that boy having it. How is that you're enjoying it? And that quality of enjoyment, happiness, is much more subtler than you cheating. The boy won't even know if you had it or not had it. Right? You thought of the child, and you took it and you gave it, and you knew that the boy is relishing. It's all over the fingers, and it's licking it, and is enjoying it. That happiness what you gain was subtler than the physical happiness you gain. That's what is meant by internal. First was selfish, self-centered. I want to enjoy. Other is let other people enjoy. When you enjoy seeing other people enjoying, automatically the quality of happiness is subtler. And that's what they mean by at the intellectual level. Imagine you crack a mathematical formula. You were thinking about it for a long time and you cracked it. That joy, that quality of happiness, you can't elaborate, you can't explain, you can't tell your friends or family, you know what, I just got it. It's a very subtle level of enjoyment, happiness. Go deeper. They're talking about something much, much subtler, much, much deeper. So instead of running after the world and going for that immediate joy, Vedanta is saying step back, think, relax, and then analyze and move. Do whatever you're doing, nothing wrong with it. Analyze, assess your expectation from that action. If you go to the world believing that's going to give you happiness, may not be sustainable in long term. So do whatever ought to be done. Don't expect anything out of that. Happiness is your own state. You will get it when you go subtler in your personality with knowledge and understanding. Okay. Now, the second part, if you remember, we discussed about was the dynamism in action. Right? So we said Vedanta provides equanimity of the mind, peace of mind, and with dynamic action. So in the chapter here we discussed about Vedanta procures happiness, and then Swamiji goes to Vedanta provides material prosperity. That's a topic we are going to take. Now in this topic he explains how can we use this knowledge to be successful, to be dynamic wherever we are. We don't have to run away from places, but how can we maintain that dynamism in action? So, to explain that, he says that when you are, first concept is, when you are able to be in control of your mind, which we said the mind is looking for happiness externally, it's agitated, disturbed. You quieten the mind, automatically you are able to perform to your optimal level. Knowledge of Vedanta is a must for efficiency in action and success in life. To attain success, there are 3 C's which Swamiji talks about. It's given in the text. The technique of successful living is based on 3 C's. First is concentration, consistency, and cooperation. To attain success in the world, we need concentration, we need consistency, we need cooperation. We'll go step by step. First is concentration. Vedanta provides a discipline necessary for material prosperity to the key principle. Concentration is intellect holding the mind, not letting it distracted by the past worries or the future anxiety. A lot of people say, concentrate. I want to concentrate, I'm not able to concentrate. How do I concentrate? What is concentration? Now, if you understand it carefully, concentration is talking about a state of the mind which is in one place, which is possible only through the intellect. Don't worry, the body, mind, and intellect we are going to cover in the text coming up, next chapters. So here we are just covering the basics. And the basic is concentration. The first key, first C for success, successful living, is called as being able to concentrate, and that is the intellect, your intellect being able to hold the mind in the present action. Right? Now, what do we mean by that? How do you do that? Intellect is nothing but ability to think, reason, judge, decide, discriminate, analyze. As we said, we'll cover in detail in the upcoming classes. Intellect is the ability to think, reason, judge, decide. That logical aspect of our personality is called as the intellect. Mind is that emotional aspect of our personality, which has feelings, likes and dislikes, discrimination. That aspect of our personality is called as the mind. So we have a physical body which merely performs action. By itself it cannot act. What makes the body act? It is either the mind's emotion, feelings, I do it because I like to do it, or it is the thinking, logic, I do it because it has to be done. Full stop. I like it or not, that's not the question. It has to be done. So action can be driven by the mind, emotion, the fit of anger, rage, I do some action. That's coming from pure mind. I am angry, but I'm not acting immediately. I step back and collect myself and then say whatever, do whatever to be done in that situation. That action is coming from the intellect. So, intellect holding the mind means your own logic and reason is able to keep your mind in place. That is concentration. Break it down further. What does it mean? Right now, you're in the class. You committed to spend time to understand these thoughts. Mind's nature is to get distracted to the past worries or the future anxiety. How do you concentrate? How does the intellect keep the mind in the present task which you have taken up? By giving reason. What am I thinking about? Is the door locked? Is the key there? Children coming? Am I doing it right? Or do I have to go somewhere? Where do I need to go? Past, future. Intellect counters by saying, by thinking about it, is it going to solve anything? Can I do anything about it? No. Is there something which is important which has to be attended before this? Maybe. Cut it off, move on, do that, attend to it. No, it can wait. Okay, let me focus here. That's what is meant by concentration. Your own intellect, your own reasoning is strong enough to keep your mind in the place, in the present activity, not allowing it to slip. It is your mind which tires you. Action can never tire you. So automatically when your mind is distracted, you get tired. You feel that tiredness in your personality. Child is never tired. You may wonder, you're so much, they have so much energy, activity, always throughout the day they are active. You may wonder, physically they are weaker than any one of us. How is it that they are able to retain that energy throughout the day and night? Because they do not have the worries of the past and anxiety for the future. They don't care, they're in the present. Which is not growth, it is just because the desires are not yet manifested. So Vedanta is not saying that you have to be a child all the time. Vedanta is saying, even when your desires are manifested, you can be in control of your desires, deciding what do you want to do. That's what is meant by concentration. You choose an action, you stay in the task. Next discipline is consistency of purpose. Intellect directing all actions towards the chosen ideal. You choose a goal, a purpose beyond your selfish and self-centered interest. You want to achieve something, you want to do something in life. Having decided that you want to achieve this, keep the actions going. It is the consistency of purpose which will be able to achieve success. I remember I think it was Einstein who said that it's not once I won, but it was 1,000 times I failed something in those lines. I mean, he kept on doing the research and he kept on failing and never given up, and he achieved it in the last 1,000 time. And he says that that is achievement. It's not that consistency of purpose. It's not leaving until you achieve it. So that ability to keep the mind in the place at all times throughout the action. So you have chosen a particular course of action, keeping the consistency going. That is important. See, what discriminates between the achievers? We're talking about the top athletes. How are they different? Because they are consistent in whatever they do. It's not just playing the sport. It is their fitness, it is their eating habits, it is the discipline they maintain throughout the day, because they're playing for the country. Chosen ideal, playing for the world. So once they have a higher goal, a higher purpose, a higher ideal, all actions have to be directed towards it. Only then they are achievers. Consistency of purpose. And the third one is also important, which is cooperative endeavor, cooperation. We need to understand we cannot achieve anything solely by ourselves. Whoever we are, wherever we are, we have reached a particular place because of the contribution of thousands, if not millions of people. So we should be grateful, we should be helpful, we should be identifying with people who have helped us, helping us to do what we want to do in life. With identification comes cooperation, cooperative endeavor in your workplace. How do you generate cooperation? A lot of people, they complain. It's not possible. Each one is selfish, self-centered. They're only doing for themselves. They don't care about anybody else. How do you create a cooperative endeavor? The answer is only when there is no cooperation, then we have to develop cooperative endeavor. If it is there, then what's the point? That's where your talent comes. That's where your ability comes. That's where Vedanta comes in. So how do you do it? Is by developing that identification in the system. Oftentimes, we walk in to the company, to the office, and we say, "Hi, how are you?" And we walk off. We don't even wait for the other person to reply. It's mechanical. We genuinely don't mean to know about the other person. We don't care. "Hi, how are you?" That person may be saying, "You know what, I'm not well." You are not there to listen to him. That is not identification. Identification is, Swamiji gives a story, very interesting story, where a chairman of a company, he was having an interview or a meeting with Swamiji, and happened to be a very big textile industry. So there was some person, the worker, came rushing to the chairman and said, "Sir, there is a person who had got a splinter in the eye. In the while working, he got a splinter in the eye." And so the chairman was so concerned, he took a excuse from Swamiji and said, "Sir, I have to look into it. It's the eye, it is very important. And you know, if you're okay with it." He said, "Of course, beta, please carry on." And he called his BM, and in his own car, he took the worker to his own personal doctor. That is what is meant by identification. There were other doctors. They already have a tie-up with the hospital. There are the people who can take care of it. But no, it is serious. That guy may lose his eyesight. He's a person, he's a loyal worker. We can't let that happen. He took it an initiative to help the person. That is called as cooperative endeavor. That develops cooperation. Automatically, there will be a collective progress coming in. Success is not one person's job. It is a collective effort. Another example is NASA. Abraham Lincoln, the ex-president of United States, he was walking to NASA for a talk. and he saw a housekeeping staff doing some last minute show. Just something happened. They're just clearing it up, and this guy, the president, he went to the housekeeping staff and said, "Sir, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm helping a person to go to the moon." He said, "I'm helping a person to go to the moon." Identification with the ideal of the company. He's doing a routine thing. But how do you see it? Do you identify with that task, with that goal, with the purpose? Why am I doing what am I doing? That makes all the difference. Same action, the attitude is different, the intention is different, the way of functioning is different. And that gives productivity in a system. So if a system has to progress, that gear, all three gear has to be properly functioning. Concentration, consistency, and cooperation. So Vedanta is not about escaping the world, it is about mastering your relationship with it. So when you are genuinely trying to help other people, concerned for others, automatically they contribute. They genuinely try and help you in bargain. You don't do it for that, but it's an effect of your genuine thought, concern for others. That develops cooperative endeavor. Each one thinks for others. Automatically, there will be cooperation in the system. Then we move on to the next topic, which is eternal bliss within. A difficult topic, the last topic of the chapter. Your real self is the abode of eternal peace and happiness. Every human being tirelessly seek it in the world through action, emotions, and thought, knowledge. The search for bliss goes on. None has ever found it. Only the rare one who has directed his search inward has reached the state of supreme bliss. He finds it through realization of the self within. So, eternal happiness, peace, bliss is within you. It is not something you gain externally. In the previous topic, where we said Vedanta procures happiness, we mentioned that we analyzed and we said that by external avenues, object of being, you do get happiness. Is it not joy? Is it not happiness? Yes, it is. But it is not what you are looking for. That goes away just for a matter of time. And that's the problem. In fact, if you think about it, so eternal bliss is within. We believe that everything external is giving me happiness. What is the things we are running after? Name, fame, power, position, family, children. Nothing to go with any of them per se. But our approach to it is, if I get this, I'll be happy. I'm not happy because I don't have name. I don't have recognition. I don't have respect in the society. I don't have money. I don't have. When I have it, I will be happy. That's what we mean when we say that I'm not happy because I don't have this. Automatically, what it means is, if I get this, I'll be happy. Find out a person who has everything. He has a name. He has a fame, power, position. Is he happy? Find out. If it is ultimate, if this is what I want to achieve, I need to find out that is it worth it, my effort. We find that people can be in the peak of name, fame, beauty, money, anything, but happiness is nowhere related to what their achievement is in the world. It's completely disconnected. You see a person in the roadside, in a slum, and quite peaceful and happy. Vedanta is not saying not to achieve in the world, but we are saying that be content and happy now, here, and then go for the more. Go for what you can achieve. Nothing wrong with it. Don't stop. But when we keep going to the world for happiness, that is where our mindset has to be reanalyzed, reset, that no, it's not getting that is going to give me happiness. I'm happy. I'm okay. I got whatever. Be grateful of whatever you have received, you have got. Never complain about things. Never be regretting about things. Always be cheerful and happy about being wherever, whatever. Mind is in control, and perform to the best. Go for the moon. If you can achieve it, go for it. Nobody is saying no. But if we keep on postponing our happiness, if I get that, I'll be happy. Happiness is not acquired from the world. It is uncovered from within. You are the limitless source of bliss, you see. You will never have it. Now, you may say, entire world is seeking it. All are wrong. Okay, I may not be right. I get it. I don't have the understanding. Fair enough. Everybody is wrong. They don't know what they're doing. Vedanta calls people, humanity, as spiritual infant. How does the infant work? You give him a chocolate and money. What will the child go for? Of course, money. No, chocolate. Why will he go for the chocolate, the candy? Because that is all the child knows. Out of innocence and ignorance, it doesn't know anything higher than the joy of the candy. So it believes that that is all the world is all about. Instant joy, instant happiness. That is what we know. And nobody told us to step back, analyze, assess our happiness. And because of that, we are conditioned to believe instant joy, instant way of getting is the way we should be going about. Where Vedanta comes and says, analyze it, assess it. Even a child instantly grab the candy. Does it make the candy more better quality, happiness than the money? No. He could have bought the candy factory for the rest of his life with the money. But he just doesn't know about it. Vedanta is saying that the happiness is within you and you are the source of happiness, and there is nothing which is required externally to get it. It is just discovering it slowly, gradually, with knowledge and understanding. You automatically will be closer to your source of happiness. It's not external. Don't compromise. Just because you have not got it, fair enough. It's difficult, it's a journey, it's effort, you have to learn, understand, assess. It doesn't come immediately, all fair. But just because you have not got it, don't compromise with something which is just there. I remember Ashutosh Rana using a very beautiful quote. He said, दिल भी बच्चे सा जिद पे अड़ा है, दिल भी बच्चे सा जिद पे अड़ा है, या तो इसे सब कुछ चाहिए या फिर कुछ भी नहीं. A child, my heart is like a child. It has become adamant about either it wants everything or nothing. That should be the approach in life. Never compromise for less. You are the absolute, you are the best, you deserve the best. Don't compromise with the joy, a pettiness at the level of perception. Somebody at the level of eyes give you some, you get enticed by that. Don't do that. It can be taste. Enjoy it. Nobody's saying don't enjoy. But understand, this is not ultimate. There is something much more higher, subtler, nobler. Yes, today I have not enjoyed it, experienced it. Someday I'll do it. But don't leave your journey for something pettiness in the society, in the world. Here comes the end of the chapter. So if we understand the whole chapter, we started by Vedanta is a dynamic technique of living, uniquely focusing on developing the inner individual to masterfully navigate the challenges of the external world, providing a clear path to both success and peace. The foundation of Vedanta is science, and Vedanta is the topic we covered. Science is improving the world. Vedanta is the only knowledge which is taking care of the individual. Then we said Vedanta, the base of religion. Where we said, in this context of science and Vedanta, we said that if you have to improve the experiences in the world, you have to improve the personality, individual, how you relate to the world. So automatically experiences will become better. Then we said about Vedanta, the base of religion, where it was analyzing that the core message of all religion is the philosophy, which is Vedanta. So they all are talking about the same truth, same reality, which is being indicated in all scriptures by all masters. They are talking about that unknown reality. In fact, chapter 2, we will be covering briefly about that reality. So it is very interesting how they derive that concept of God. And that's the base of all religion. And then we saw that the reason, the sap of Vedanta, it is based on reason and logic. That's the approach of Vedanta. And then we went into the tributes to Vedanta. So it is talking about all these great men who are talking about the greatness of Vedanta. And it's not required for a seeker, but it is required for people who have value for authorities. So perhaps for that reason, they may pursue and they see a value for the knowledge of Vedanta. Then the rewards of Vedanta. He is talking about your real self, your real identity is changeless self within, which is the ultimate source of all peace. Vedanta procures happiness. Lasting happiness is found by looking within, not by depending on the external world. So when you go deeper in your personality, you automatically go closer to the source of happiness which you are. Then Vedanta provides material prosperity through concentration, consistency, and cooperative endeavor. You become efficient and successful in life. And the last topic we did was eternal bliss within. The ultimate goal is to discover the eternal bliss, happiness which resides in your own self, not in the worldly things. Okay. Now we're moving on to chapter 2. Chapter 2, World and Human Being. The first topic is talking about the mystery of the origin, a question which is always baffled humanity is the mystery of the origin of the world. Who created the world? Where did this world come from? Did the chicken come first or the egg come first? We take it for granted and we say it doesn't matter. So seed come first or the tree come first? We can keep on questioning but can never come to a conclusion. Who is the father's first father? You cannot conclude, because if you say there is a first father, what it means that he never had another father, which goes against the law of causation, because cause produces effect, effect produces cause, and what we are referring to is a causeless cause. So origin is difficult to comprehend because we are talking about a causeless cause going against the laws. So science is perplexed. To appease the mind, the name given was of God. Who created the world? God created the world. Now, the mathematical analogy, here we analyze What is that referred as God? Who is God? Where is God? Take this equation. There is a width, volume, length, breadth, height. We have all the parameters except the height. Now we have to find the height of the room. How do you start the calculation? The first assumption is we assume let the height of the room be equal to x. Is x the answer? Is x the conclusion? No. It is only saying to start figuring it out, what is that unknown factor? We have to go from the known factors, which is the formula we have, the parameters we have, and we take and assume a parameter called as x, and then we derive x. We calculate, and the answer is derived methodically. X is equal to 10 feet. Now, interestingly, exactly the same way, God is just a word. It's like saying X. X is not an answer. Who created the world? God created the world. God is not an answer. It's a proposition. It's an assumption. We are holding an unknown factor, and what has happened is we have stopped investigating thereafter. So Vedanta says, don't do that. God is a word from the unknown origin. The real answer must be investigated. Find out for yourself. Vedanta is giving us direction to find that mysterious unknown God, reality, whatever that be. So, Vedanta unravels the mystery scientifically. It proceeds logically from the known to the unknown, leading from ignorance to enlightenment. So go step by step. Don't assume anything. Don't take anything for granted. Don't go by anybody saying anything. Find out for yourself. What is that they're referring to? What do they mean by saying God created the world? Is it a personality? Is it somebody sitting in the heaven? I have not seen anybody when I was flying. Question it. Find out. Go to the root of it. You get it for yourself. That is called as enlightenment. When you get the answer for yourself. So the journey is called the spiritual path, where you are not satisfied by the unknown parameter given to explain that. So what happens is, the principle of education is you go from known to unknown. A tourist wants to go to the library. He doesn't know where is the library. He asks you, can you help me? He said, oh, it is next to the hospital. Now, he has two things. He wants to go to the library, poor fellow. He doesn't know where is the library. You told him that's next to the hospital. Now, he also doesn't know where is the hospital. Sir, where is the hospital? Oh, it is next to the museum. He doesn't know where is the museum. Now, he got two more parameters which he doesn't know. You cannot go to the unknown library by unknown hospital and unknown museum. Then he comes back and says, sir, I don't know where's the museum. Then he says, oh, it is next to the clock tower. Oh, he heard about the clock tower. On the way to the station, he saw the clock tower. Now he has some known factor to hold on to. He tells the cab to go to the clock tower. Next to the clock tower is the museum. Next to the museum is the hospital. Next to the hospital is the public library. So from the known parameter, he went to the unknown library. Principle of education is knowledge proceeds from the known to the unknown. You cannot talk in the unknown terms. Who is God? God is infinite love, infinite mercy, infinite power. Moment we say infinite, our intellect is gone. It's gone beyond the intellect. We don't know what we are saying. So you cannot relate to it. You don't know what it is. So automatically it is unknown. So unknown God cannot be known by all these parameters given. It is unknown. So what we need to do is go from the known factors. We see the world very much there. Analyze the world step by step. There are things in the world which is happening without us doing anything. The laws are functioning meticulously. How is it functioning? Who is maintaining the laws? How is it that the chicken is comes first or egg doesn't matter, but the maintenance is going on? How is it that when you put the seed, the mango seed, any part of the world, the mango tree alone comes? It's not a banana tree comes out of it. Who is maintaining it? When you go step by step from the known factors, from the world which you are aware of, and then you are able to go to the unknown origin. The knowledge starts with what is known to understand the mystery. To understand that unknown mystery of origin, we must begin with known factors. This is the only path from ignorance to true knowledge. There's a very beautiful poem Swamiji discusses in the text, which is the blind man and the elephant. So 6 blind men goes to find out about the elephant. The irony is all of them can't see and they want to understand the elephant. So each one is having a different perspective and each one believes this is what it is, and they are so firm in their belief, they don't want to accept anybody else's understanding, and they conclude based on the experience, this is what the elephant is. The first, it was the 6 men of Hindustan, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. So each of the 6 men, they went to see the elephant. The second, feeling the tusk, cried, "Ho! What we have here, so very round and smooth and sharp, to me it's very clear, this wonder of an elephant is like a spear." One fellow says it's like a wall, other fellow says it's like a spear. He holds on to the trunk and says that's what it is, it's like a spear. The third approached the animal and happened to take a squirming trunk within his hand, thus boldly up and spake, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is like a snake." So he concluded based on his experience that it is a snake. Since it's bending, it is like a snake. Then the fourth one, fourth reached out his eager hand and felt about the knee. "What most this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain," quoth he. "It's clear enough be, it's very much like a tree." So this man, he just holds on to the leg of the elephant and he believes elephant is like just a tree. The next person, the fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, "Even the blindest one man can tell what this resembles the most. Deny the fact who can, this marvel of an elephant is like a fan." So this guy, he says the elephant is nothing, it's just like a fan. The sixth, the tail as a rope. The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope than seizing on the swinging tail that fell within his scope, and "I see," quoth he, "it's very much like a rope." So his conclusion, the sixth man's conclusion of elephant, it's just like a rope. All of them were right in their conclusion, and all of them were wrong. When it comes to the fundamental, the completeness, the totality, they all were right. They are not wrong, but they are seeing as very limited part of it. So the partial view can lead to false conclusion. The limited understanding is dangerous. And that's what is happening in the world. Everybody says, we know God. What's so difficult? Oh, you guys are, why you're complicating it? God is all merciful. God is everywhere. If I'm a Christian, God is in my, where is it? Where do I go as a Christian? Church. If I am a Hindu, God is my, is Bhagwan is in my temple. If I am Islam, God is there is Allah, He is there in the masjid. Each one is sure. Everybody knows who's God. There's no discussion thereafter. A lot of people, they ask, when I ask them, what is your understanding of God? Oh, so you don't believe in God. Leave my belief. What do you believe in? What is your understanding of God? The reality. What is it? No, God is all pervading. God is graceful. God is beautiful. God is amazing. God is everywhere. God. Now you're not answering the question. What is God? Who is God? Where is God? And that's what he's saying in the earlier slide, if you remember, where he mentioned that it has to be investigated. Something. So God has to be investigated. It's not a concept which you can deny. If you remember, we did the calculation here. Anyways, so it is the reality which has to be understood and related to. It is important. Okay, let me try this. So that's what we are saying, that God is just a word. It's not an answer. So we need to understand it step by step. Example, height of the room equal to X is not an answer. It has to be derived. It is assumed for our derivation. What has happened is people have accepted God as an answer. So everybody seems to be knowing what is God, where is God. And that's where we say that we have to go from the known parameter. With the unknown parameter, we cannot comprehend the unknown God. And that's where the poem, The Blind Man and the Elephant. And there is another, this moon branch analogy. We'll just conclude with this concept. It's a nice idea, a moon branch analogy. So, health is your real nature. A doctor cannot give you health. He can only, what can he do? He can give you medicine to take away the ill health. Health is your original nature. The doctor cannot give you health. It's only taking out what is the covering your health, and what you're left with is health. That's what he's saying. So your original state is the divinity, the self. The disease is the ignorance. So Vedanta is only giving you knowledge to take out that ignorance so that you come back to your original state, who you really are. So purpose of Vedanta is just a piece of knowledge, ancient wisdom, giving out to help in removing the ignorance we are steeped in. A very interesting analogy is the moon branch analogy. Imagine in the bright lit day, you see a slight moon. And now you have to indicate that moon to your friend. It's actually there in the scripture, moon branch analogy. How will you tell your friend? You say, hey, look at that moon, so beautiful. Hey, where is the moon? Hey, look, see, it's there. Keep saying there, he says there, where, it goes on. But when you take a help of a tree, okay, wait. Do you see a tree in the wilderness? Yes, I see the tree. Go to the branch of the tree, the right side branch which is coming out. Do you see that? Yes, I see that. From that branch, there is one small tertiary branch which is coming out to the left. Do you see that? Yes. There are two leaves coming there. Do you see that? Yes. In between the leaves, see it. And he says, yes, I got it. In between the leaves, I got that moon. Now, what is interesting is the trunk, the branch, the leaf, nothing has anything to do with the moon. Moon is nowhere related, connected to the trunk or the leaf or the branch. However, it was useful to indicate that reality. Similarly, knowledge of Vedanta is giving pointers to give the direction of the reality, to know what that reality is. When you keep moving to that direction, don't hold on to it, go beyond it, you see the reality. To realize the unknown God, proceed from the known world, use knowledge as a bridge, then transcend it to discover the limitless self within you. Thank you so much. We'll meet again in the next session.